Alright people, look, this is going to be a brief video. I'm going to show you how I make plain white rice. What happened was, one of my friends, she reached out to me and she was like, hey, could you show me how to make white rice? I was shocked. I was shocked because this girl, she's Dominican. And well, actually she's American. She's born here. Her parents are Dominican. And it's like, if you're from Dominican Republic, if you're from Puerto Rico, if you're from Cuba, if you're from Mexico, when you're born, the doctor tests you to see if you know how to make white rice. So, I mean, you know, all over the world people know how to make white rice. I'm trying to be funny. So, I'm just going to show you briefly how I prepare plain old arroz blanco, white rice. Okay. Alright, so here I have a nice glass full of rice. Basically, if you read the instructions on any package of rice, it tells you 1 cup rice, 2 cups water or liquid or whatever. So, I mean, this is not the official cup measurement, and you don't have to get a literal measuring cup. Where's my measuring cup? It's somewhere. You don't need it. You can follow the basic rule of 1 vessel of rice with 2 vessels of water. Or 1, coffee cup of rice, you would use 2 coffee cups of water. It's very, very simple. So the general rule is, again, 1 for 2, or 2 for 1. 2 liquid, 1 of rice. Okay? One of my little secrets, though, is I have these 2 glasses of water. The second vessel of water, I don't fill it up all the way. You see there I cut out about, what, 1/4 of it? That way the rice comes out nice and grainy. Okay, I also have used, instead of water, chicken stock, vegetable stock. A friend of mine from Honduras, a good friend of mine, Pablo, he uses coconut milk. So basically any liquid you can use to prepare plain white rice. Apart from that, we're going to need some salt. I'm going to use about half a tablespoon, which would be a teaspoon of salt. And you need some oil. I'm going to use some olive oil. I've used coconut oil. Other people use just regular corn oil, vegetable oil, whatever you like. Alright? You're also going to need a nice pot. I'm going to use this non-stick ceramic pot that you'll see it later in the video because my other pots are taken up with other things. And what else do we need? We're going to need a strainer because I'm going to show you what I do with the rice before preparing it. And alright, so let's go on to the next step. Alright, so I'm going to use this square type pot because, like I said, my other pots are taken right now. This will not give me the nice concon or pegao. If you're from PR or DR, they'll serve like the rice that sticks to the bottom. They'll serve it like along with the regular rice. It's like a treat. Other people don't agree, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to pour my water right in. And this happens to be spring water because I'm being fancy. I'm going to turn it up full heat. Oh, I have a grain of rice that escaped. Put them right here. Full heat, right? Because I want this to come to a boil. Right in there, I'm going to put in a pinch of salt. You know, if you're my mom, she puts in like a spoonful of salt. That's enough. I said before I was going to put, what did I say, a teaspoon? Or is that the oil? Alright, so a dash of salt. And I'm going to also put in some olive oil. I'm going to use, let's see here. Yeah, that was about a flat tablespoonful. And before it comes up to the boil, I'm going to stir it. But I'm not going to stir it with that metal spoon. I'm going to stir it with this silicone spoon because I don't want to scratch my nice pot. Okay, now, while I'm waiting for this to come to a boil, let me mix it up a little more. You want to put in your salt and your oil before it comes to a boil because otherwise, you know, everything will be popping all over the place. Alright, so that's good. So now, it's going to come up to a boil. What I want to do now is I want to rinse out my rice. I have friends that take rice straight out of the bag or box and they'll cook it. I like to rinse it, and I'll show you why. Alright, so here's my rice, and I want to rinse it out. I want to put it through several rinsings because there was some studies done some time ago, and they found that rice can carry a lot of different stuff in it. Arsenic, I think, and other things that's not good for you. So that's one thing. I want to just be safe. But another thing, I don't know if you see there, the water comes out pretty milky and cloudy. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But that's something I want to avoid. So I'm going to rinse this rice until the water that's coming out of it is clear or clearer. Alright, this water is pretty cold. You can have it cold or cool. My hand hurts. Let me turn it cool instead of cold. And basically trying to get it so that it's not as cloudy. You don't want the rice warm. You don't want to rinse it in warm water. Let's see here. Alright, I think that's good. What I've also done before is that I'll let it sit submerged in like a bowl with this strainer and then change the water from there. You know, whatever method you use, you just want to make sure that you rinse it out to get anything potentially harmful out of there. And yeah, now the water seems clear. It was milky, but now it seems to be clear. Alright, so I'm happy with this. I'm going to check on my water and get the rice right in. Oh man, my water's super boiling. Alright, so what I'm going to do is mix this one more time, just get the oil and salt dispersed. Put my rice right in. And at this point, I'm going to stir it, not too much. I'm just stirring it a little softly and a little bit just to make sure the salt and the oil is somewhat evenly distributed. You don't want to stand here and do this constantly because you'll make the rice mushy. Oh look, a little shuck. See? That's why it's good to also rinse out rice and to check it. I got a little shuck. Alright, so I mixed it, I stirred it. It's on this boiling water. It's basically very high. I'm going to turn it down medium high. It's medium high now. And so what's going to happen is the water is going to be absorbed, and when the water is absorbed like 90% is when we're going to go on to the next step. So this is going to stay here maybe a good like 7-8 minutes, and then we'll come back to it and I'll show you what it should look like before the next step. Alright people, I just want to show you 6 minutes have passed. And it looks like it's all dried up, but it's not, because when I pull back here, if I pull back a little bit, I can still see liquid under there. But the liquid's basically like 90% gone. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to turn it low, you know, because I don't want the rice to burn. I'm just going to pull the edges in a little bit. Like I said before, you don't want to mix it around too much. Alright, that's fine. But there is still some liquid under there that I want to dry up. Alright, so this has been 6 minutes. We may not need 10 looking at it. So I'm going to leave it on here maybe another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'll let you know when I come back to it. Alright. Alright people, 2 minutes have passed. Yeah, okay, so I'm glad. So the vast majority of the liquid is gone. So now at this point what we're going to do is, oops, sorry, you're going to get a lid ready. You're going to just give this one big stir. Turn it over. All right. You don't want to do this too much, because again, you'll make it mushy. Right? Ooh. I want to cover it, and I want to bring it down to a low simmer. A low simmer. To really get the rest of that liquid out. And after about 10 minutes, this should be ready. It should be nice and grainy and ready to eat along with the rest of my delicious food. Alright, so we're going to let this sit here 10 minutes. I'll be honest, I'm going to check on it before 10 minutes are up, but I'll let you know. And we should have some nice plain old white rice. Bring it down to a simmer. The lowest simmer you can, or closest to the lowest simmer you can. Alright. Alright, peeps. Exactly 10 minutes have passed. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that ajo. Let's just see. Alright. It's nice and grainy. You just go right in with your with this spoon. And what I'm gonna do is, also I don't want to scratch up this nice non-stick ceramic, but there's people that do it with a fork. Alright, so this is nice and grainy rice, and we did do a little pegao. It did do a little pegao, you see? This is what we call in Spanish pegao, or con. It's like having a cookie. Alright, but my rice is nice and grainy. If you want it to absorb even more liquid, you know, you just cover it and let it go another minute or two. And oh my god, so good. I got the olive oil and salt super correctly. Alright, I'm gonna serve myself, and I'll show you what nice plain white rice should look like. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna turn off the heat. Nice, mira. Oh, sorry, I went to Spanish as a reflex. Look at that, nice and grainy. There go a piece of my con again. But you see, nice and grainy and delicious. Very good with that olive oil, or you can also use coconut oil. Alright, so this is how I cook white rice. Of course, I'm gonna have to get my beans on there, but I hope this was helpful to you, but especially to my friend who will remain nameless. I can't even talk right, it's so delicious. Peace.